What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today is gonna be the first official episode of the 2K player ramblings. These are gonna be things that I kind of want to things that I might want to talk about, and it's not gonna be like the structure of the podcast. I will obviously, as time goes on, I hope to bring on like guests and stuff onto something like this, and it'd be a little bit less formal and just have a chat about just stuff. A lot of things are going on in the game right now, like TTO boards, the Zen patch, Pro-Am, and then some other things that are kind of interesting. Obviously, the Shannon Sharpe versus KD situation is a pretty interesting one, like obviously the media going after Kevin Durant and things like that. So, we are going to be talking about all these things while we are going to be playing some NBA 2k21 MyTEAM. Am I that fussed about how this game goes? Not particularly. I don't really care too much about Unlimited right now anyway, but we are going to be playing some of that. So 1,700 for I plenty of contracts, let's put them on. But yeah, so the first topic that we are going to be talking about in today's video is the new TTO boards. That is the first topic we're going to be talking about. And I am a massive fan of the new triple threat boards. Like, I know some people, again, I don't understand who really could not be a fan of these boards, to be completely honest. Like, I don't really see how someone isn't going to be a fan if they're a MyTEAM fan, but look, it is what it is, I guess. Some people just aren't, they just don't like free stuff, I guess. But no, these guys, like, these boards are absolutely incredible. So there's something that's brought hype back into the mode, like, and just a heads up, lads, 3 of these games were because I got 99% glitched. I'm 13-1 this season. We're 13-1. We're like 5-0 on other people's accounts on Unlimited, and we won. You'll see it in. You probably have already seen it. See, this video will probably be out before my triple threat video. We won basically every single game playing triple threat. So, with the boards, it's encouraging people to play the mode. Like, 100% people are being encouraged to play the mode. And at the end of the day, I think removing the spinners, they had to replace them in some way. And I think even the bad packs, with everything you're getting from those bad packs in terms of like contracts, in terms of pretty much everything, like the badge cards, like those ones, actually, that's what makes the packs worth it. Like, it's not necessarily the god tier players, because there's no high rated players in any of these packs. So at the end of the day, like, if you're the only thing you care about is those 400 or 500k players, you're not really getting anything out of them. And the 300 tokens, I think I've seen one person get it, so it's not too bad. But I think they've made up for the lost MT from spinners, because like, if you're getting at least 1,000 MT from one of those packs, like, we all learned that from the lights out packs in 2K20, with all the pack fodder, with the contracts, everything. If you're getting close to 1,000 MT if you discard it. What the hell is that? What? But yeah, you're basically getting a lot of MT. Okay, let's 5 out this guy here. Did I forget to put Hawks 2018? I think I'll time it. But yeah, so the new boards have made the packs a million times better. So, the new packs have made the boards a million times better. And then in terms of like in terms of the guys like Kiki Vandeweghe, like, nobody's going for Kiki Vandeweghe, to be honest. It's not like anyone is going to be going for a Kiki Vandeweghe in game. It's not like we're going to be seeing anyone with their Charlie Wards out there. But if you guys don't know, 1, they go for exchanges, and 2, if you get a dupe, if you get a duplicate Kiki Vandeweghe, it's 1,500 MT, which is as much as spinners are going to give you. And the balls dropping are now even faster because they don't constantly reset. Like, I'll be interested to see roughly how much MT I made. And I reckon I made, on top of Ron Harper from the hour, like, I haven't checked it yet, I probably made at least 25k MT. Like, we got 3 diamond consumables packs, some decent tokens. And if you got the 300 tokens, if they open the token market, you are absolutely golden. Like, the fact that between now and the end of the season, if the boards are still this juiced, if you hit the 300 tokens once, like, you don't understand, like, that makes, if you hit that even once, it makes up for all the lack of spinners over a course of a season. Like, if you find the 300 tokens, you're sorted, because again, you can do the reset boards tactic. It's like, you can always reset your board, so you're going to hit it. So if that's in the board twice, and you don't hit it twice, it's just because you don't know the tactic. Like, if you wait till you have one ball drop to go, and if you back out and play again, next win you'll get that same board. So, like, the fact that that's a possibility, and we're seeing a lot of people getting it. Like, if you happen to get, say, for example, 300 tokens is as common as Ron Harper, and you play a lot of Triple Threat online, I'm telling you, you are going to get the guts of 1,000 tokens between now and the end of the season. And that's a free dark matter. Like, for a lot of people, that 1,000 tokens is a free dark matter. Like, if you can get into, like, if I get 1,000 tokens or 600 from one game, I'm probably gonna go up to the Opal tier in tokens. Because once you get to that dark matter tier for the Pete Maraviches of the world, yeah, like, that's when we start to see these god tier token rewards. Or even if I'm sitting on 4,000 or 5,000 tokens for the token market, I know for a fact later on in the year we're gonna get some good stuff out of that. That's just done by me. So the new Triple Threat boards they've been one of the biggest things for the mode, without doubt, this year. Because the mode is a little bit stale, to be honest. It was a little bit stale in terms of the rewards because you weren't making much out of it. Like, Triple Threat used to be the best way to make MT outside of the auction house. Then it became Triple Threat offline. And then obviously Danny Ferry. And because this dude's not, is he a feedback turned off or something? This is really weird. Okay, but yeah, like, Triple Threat Online has basically now become the best way to earn MT in MyTEAM. And genuinely, I'm happy because it's my favorite game mode. I just hope that 2K start bringing some more stuff into this mode, Unlimited. Because, not gonna lie, Red's not it. I'm just gonna say that right now, Red's not it. Millsap was it, though. Millsap was exceptional. I'm not gonna deny that. Paul Millsap was absolutely exceptional. But Red is so average. This dude's got Ferry, really? And he didn't start Ferry? What? What are you doing with the best card in the game? Especially on this gen and not starting him. But yeah, this mode is really, really... it's kind of hit a low point mainly because of what we're seeing with Triple Threat, how offline and online are so rewarding. So I hope 2K bring in more like Millsap type rewards to bring this mode better, because like I hate playing this mode. Like, I don't mind it in this scenario where I'm literally just I'm just rambling and I'm half focusing. But I think 2K needs to keep people incentivized to play MyTEAM, because winning 68 or Unlimited, because winning 68 games is just simply not achievable for 99% of players. Big board. So yeah, that is my opinion on the new Triple Threat boards. I think they have revitalized what had become a not even slowly, just a quickly dying game of Greendus. Big white, let's go. So I'll play out the rest of the quarter and then we're going to go on to the next topic. Because, man, I'm up at 8. This isn't bad at all. Grabbed. You should have shot that. Oh, he's quick. Oh, he's punch by flare ripped me. I didn't even realize it. So, topic number 2. Lovely. Topic number 2 is... I need to get this more efficient for the next episode of this. Topic number 2 is the third McGregor fight. I don't really care about it. Like, I'm being completely honest. McGregor Poirier number 3. I remember where I was watching McGregor Poirier number 1. I don't know. Like, obviously, there's no I've like made no secret that I'm not his biggest fan. Due to some outside the ring stuff, but like, his impact on MMA is just will never. I don't think anyone will have a greater impact on the sport. Like him and Ronda Rousey. Like, yeah, obviously big MMA fans are going to be like, oh, it was John Jones was the biggest influence. Just like, no, nobody has made people care about the sport like McGregor. Like, as in the average person. It's like McGregor's nowhere close to being the best fighter there's ever been. Could be significantly better. Like, he's not. Khabib will just manhandle him. Like, there's not a chance that McGregor would ever beat him. Like, there's been better fighters. It was just nobody talked up a game like him. That's bad. That's good defense. No one talked a game like him, and people underestimate like players being box office and how important that is. And he was box office, and it's the reason why I don't particularly like. It's the reason why I hated the NBA moving away from like Curry as the face. The media, like, instead of making Curry the golden boy, making the Warriors like the evil team of the NBA. That's actually not a bad move by him. Because Steph Curry is by far the most popular player outside of the US. Like, if you're any of my non-US fans will attest to that. Like, Steph Curry's by far the most popular. Like, people used to watch Steph Curry warm up. Like, people used to go to games 2 hours early to watch Steph Curry warm up. And you know why I know that? Because I was one of them. I went to see the Warriors, and it was the first year after KD joined. I went to see the Warriors play the Nets when I was in Brooklyn, or when I was in New York. And basically, the Brooklyn Nets tickets were like 20 quid for normal games. They were like 300 for the Warriors game. And everyone was there 2 hours before to watch Steph Curry warm up. Like, it was nuts. And McGregor is that kind of like similar effect on like the UFC. Like, he's such a big draw, and like, as much as I'm gonna say I don't like him, I'm watching the fight, and I think that's the way most people are. So while like, I reckon Poirier beats him again, unless like McGregor's not gonna be able to deal with those leg kicks again. Like, so unless McGregor hits him with a couple of things early like he did in Dublin, it's gonna be tough. This dude's chicken. It's gonna be very, very tough for him to win. And to be honest, I don't really see it happening. I don't necessarily care about the results, but like, as much as I want to say I don't care, I'm going to watch it. So I must. Then there is the Zens being patched in MyTEAM. So Zens being patched in MyTEAM is such a controversial topic because, not being patched in MyTEAM, being patched in 2K, such controversial topics because, newsflash, Zens aren't patched. We said it in the podcast last week that 2K, it's next to impossible for 2K to patch Zens completely. Like, they can patch them in MyTEAM. As far as I'm aware, they don't even work in MyTEAM right now. But they cannot patch them because a Zen is literally a controller that runs a script. Like, unless they do something where your release timing changes depending on where you are on the floor. And I think 2K if 2K don't implement that, Zens will never not work, because you can very much mod a controller so you press a certain button that it presses, say, X button for X amount of milliseconds. And it's so easy to do that. And that's essentially what the Zen is. That's what modding a controller is. Like, they're going to give a different script. They're going to make the different mods for the Zen. Zen's just an attachment, like the Zen just allows you to basically equip aimbot. Like, the Zen is not the aimbot itself. Like, you can have a Zen program it wrong and it's just not going to work. You're going to miss every single shot. And that's something that a lot of people do not realize, especially people that aren't too familiar with them, is that they're literally just modded controllers. So I think what's going to end up happening is, I'm starting to lose a little bit of focus here. I think what's going to end up happening is the tournaments are all going to have to require hand cam. Like, there's going to be a whole bunch of hand cams. Like, people are going to have their mobile phones at their hand in Discords very, very soon, because it's nearly impossible now to tell if someone's Zenning or not, because they patched the center script. The center script was the most obvious Zen in history. And I'm telling you, it was impossible. It was impossible on current gen to quick stop into a Zen. I literally, or into a 3, into a center. I literally didn't press any buttons and Zach LaVine runs behind Steph Curry. This game is garbage. Oh my god. Why do your players start running to the halfway line when you're not, like, you're literally controlling them, but you can't control them? There we go, karma. But yeah, that's the biggest thing, is that like Park players have celebrated 4 times this year the Zens are patched. And like 2K will tweet out, oh, Zens are patched, Zen cheaters patched. And you know the only thing they've actually done is they've ruined stick shooting for the legitimate stick shooters. Like, to be fair, I moved away from stick shooting after the first patch. I knew 2K were going to keep messing with it. 2K have messed with stick shooting maybe 5 different times in patches, trying to patch Zen. And in reality, none of them patch Zen, because the excellent script will never not work because it's based on timing. You have to change the whole way shooting works to patch Zens. And I'm going to say this right now. There were Zens last year. There were Zens in 19. But you only heard rumblings of them because, one, it was so easy to shoot last year. Just like you don't hear many people using Zen on next gen, because, let's be real, good players can green every shot in this game. So it really doesn't, like, Zens aren't needed on this gen, but they're still a thing. And that's the way it was last year and other years. I know what he's doing. He's coming off this. And he went the Giannis yet. But yeah, so if there's any Park guys or anyone that's a fan of Park and you're sitting here rejoicing saying Zens are patched or complaining about 2K not patching Zens, that's the funniest. It's impossible. 2K cannot and will not ever patch Zens out of the game. It is literally impossible to patch out of the game or to hotfix out of the game. The only way to remove the Zens is to change the entire shooting system. Could we see a shooting system in 2K22 where Zens are completely removed? Potentially. We could see a bit of a weird one where a Zen works on one spot on the floor and a corner sitter in Pro-Am press a certain button to hit their release in the corner. I don't think 2K will ever be able to stop that, but I think we could potentially see a complete overhaul in just the way the game works, and that could prevent Zenning in future. But like Zens as we know them in 2K21, like 2K21 is not a bad game because of Zens. Or it is a bad game because of Zens, but that's not something that's 2K's fault. Because it is not 2K's fault that people have found a way to cheat. Because it is an impossible thing to fix. But the whole thing is that I think the easiest way to fix Zens is for any sort of competitive game, require handcam. And then you're seeing a bunch of people reporting everything. It's a near impossibility to, it's just done by me, to tell if someone's Zenning as well, because you can shoot a straight arm with a Zen. And you don't know if they're shooting a straight arm with the way animations are now, because it's not as obvious as last year where they literally just held out their arms. You can't tell really if someone else is full barring, because the amount of times you hear people shout straight arm and the ball goes in, whereas last year there was a guarantee. There was literally a guarantee if someone held their arm up, it was a guarantee that it was a miss. A straight arm was a guaranteed miss, whereas a straight arm is not a guaranteed miss this year. And on this, give the ball, on this gen, a straight arms, like again, it could be a guaranteed make for some people. There is no exact full bar animation, which is a very, very, maybe there is a full bar animation, but it's not a guaranteed miss anymore. So it's almost impossible to tell if somebody's Zenning nowadays. Even if they make every shot, you can't prove they're Zenning. They might just be good at the game. So all 2K have actually made it is that it's harder to tell if somebody's Zenning. That's all 2K's patches have done. They've patched the whole thing in the game, and they've just made it almost impossible to tell if somebody's Zenning or not. So, yeah, I think 2K have done a bad... While I think that 2K can't really fix it, I think 2K have done a bad job of trying. Like, 2K could have just... What 2K should have done was allowed Zenning, but made it as obvious as possible, so that you could get some like video footage and ban the players. But all they're doing right now is making the excellent script harder to tell if it's a Zen or not. They're making it harder to tell if anyone's Zenning or not, and 2K are now at the stage where people are going to accuse every single player that's making shots of Zenning. And that's... 2K have brought that on themselves. They have, by making it even harder to tell if someone's Zenning. But Zens will not be patched this year. They've been in other years. The way shooting works, Zens will not be patched. So look, if you are hoping for some like absolutely like miraculous patch that all of a sudden the game's going to work perfectly, Zens are going to be patched and it's all going to be back to like 2K19 again, then just no, that's not happening. And one of the ironic things is why I just laugh at the park community is that, like, I've seen another YouTuber be like, look at what we've done. We've got Zens patched. We've got Zens patched. And post scores are now patched because it takes no skill. And in the same comments section, they've gone, we need to keep the speed burst in because without the speed burst, the game's has no skill gap. But at the speed burst, like, no, you don't take like being a 7'3" post player and scoring post hooks on a 6'5" guard is something that 99% of 7'3" players in real life can do. That is not an exploit in the game. Players accelerating at 5 million miles per hour is an exploit in the game. Players glitching around the floor, gliding along the floor. Like, the guys that were going crazy about... This dude turned his meter... What? The guys that were going crazy about the Zens, that were celebrating the most about Zens being patched when they weren't, ironically, were the same people that are saying the speed burst should remain in the game and the speed burst belongs. No, the speed burst is the biggest load of garbage ever. Like, speed boosting should never have been based on ball control. Speed boosting should have been based on acceleration. I will stand by that. Ball control should not make a player burst. And on next gen, a dribble style should not make a player burst. Like, it's just a very, very frustrating thing. But it's another of the long list added on to the old DBG versus park players. DBG versus park players, like, complaints, which have been very, very I've been very, very, like, adamant in that this year. I think park players have ruined 5v5. I do believe that they ruined it because all these things they believe helps their game mode. And to be fair, like, I would be wrong to say that... I'd be selfish to say, like, I'm gonna be selfish. I would rather park be the most broken experience ever and my team to work really well than the opposite way around. And both of them are broken, but... in fairness, park has gotten better, but unfortunately, it's my team has been a casualty in the improvements in the game. But next we have got Pro-Am DBG. So, yeah, if you guys don't know, we got another big Pro-Am tournament coming up, and it's the FIBA Championships. Again, I will be captaining Team Ireland. Hopefully, we can make it out of groups this time, because if we lose to Poland or Estonia, either they've got some demons I don't know about, or we just suck. We just suck. But it's on current gen, and I don't know exactly what build I'm on. So I registered as my like stretch power forward, but I don't know if I'm gonna stay on that build, to be honest, because we had a point guard. Well, we have a point guard. Like, Dale is playing point guard. Dale's pretty good, but I don't know. Like, if Dale gets boxed, if I play on my stretch and Dale gets boxed, we've lost. Like, we've literally, it's over. And that's kind of what happened last year. Is like, they did a really good job guarding Dale in the Cyprus game. And they put their best defender on Dale because we played them the day before and Dale carried. So they did a really good job on him. So I played as a secondary ball handler that game. And they ended up putting a lot of emphasis on him. So I ended up with... I'm trying to think how many points... I had 27 in that game. I had 24 points halfway through the third. So they switched their best defender onto me. And then Dale goes off in the fourth. So something like that. It all depends on the way our builds are, honestly. But I don't know. We're going to have to practice a little bit. I don't know what way I'm going to play. Like, obviously, I'm not the greatest point guard in terms of doing all the, like, mad dribble stuff, but my timing on releases is not, when I lock in, it's not bad. And also, like, that's a good contest. Also, it's just more fun playing as a secondary ball handler than corner sitting. I don't want to corner sit. I don't think I'm good corner sitting. I really don't. I feel like we have a better chance with two ball handlers, but again, we'll see it in practice. And I know a lot of you guys might be wondering, like, why am I playing Pro-Am? Like, but the Pro-Am guys are the best players. Like, we can have... My opinion is, my team guys after Pro-Am and as in like competitive MyTEAM guys. Maybe next gen, because there's no stage, you could argue Park guys, similar level to MyTEAM guys, but everything except for like dribbling, MyTEAM guys over Park guys, 1,000,000%. Like IQ is the biggest skill gap in any 2K. And you don't need the first bit of IQ to play Park. Like you don't. You can be brain dead and play Park. You can be brain dead and play stage. You just have to be really skilled with like your dribbling and everything. Whereas in Pro-Am, you not only need to be skilled because you're only controlling one player and you can't glitch the AI like in MyTEAM. Like you have to have higher IQ playing Pro-Am than playing MyTEAM. And you have to communicate really well. You have to know what every player can and can't do. So I'm going to say it like Pro-Am is the reason why through the years, especially at the start of the year, I was very interested in getting into Pro-Am was because Pro-Am guys are the best. They're the best 2K players overall. And if anyone wants to say any other game mode players are better than Pro-Am players, they're just objectively wrong. They are objectively wrong, and they shouldn't be allowed to talk 2K anymore because they've either never played competitive Pro-Am, or they're like actually no, they should be able to or they just need to play against a really good competitive Pro-Am player, because these guys will have you boxed. Like they'll be throwing these mad things. It's like playing five borderline Ty Debo level players. Like he switches. Ty's so good because he switches all his players. Imagine if he didn't have to switch. You play 5 Ty Debos, like, and the way some of these guys are is just next level. Like the Pro-Am guys they're a level above MyTEAM guys, and they're a million levels above Park players in terms of IQ. So the Pro-Am guys are definitely the best, and that's why I want to get into it. Like, because, like, if you guys know, my actual like skill in game isn't great. Like my skill in game has never been great. Like I have never been this guy that can go and ISO you, score a bunch of points. But what I have been able to do is find out ways of breaking people down. So I've been 5-outing this guy the whole game. Okay, Ron Harper's cut there. Let me just get into Ron Harper's hands. Back down the post. Someone's going to be open. It's not LaMelo because you're in a weird position. And we're caught. We have to just put up a heavy. I just got boxed right there. Just as I say that, I know how to break people down. I get completely boxed. I'll give him 2. I don't care. But yeah, so obviously I'm 5-outing to beat this guy's zone because it's been working. And let me just get it to him. You hold, wide open, green that. That's just bad by me again. Like that's really good offense. I just couldn't time. So like playing Pro-Am would have to help me improve my skills. Like I would have to get better at the game to play Pro-Am at a high level. Like you just learn more about it. I'd have to get better at it because my IQ is already at a decent enough level for MyTEAM. So like if I improved my actual skill at the game, I would be a very good player. But as you guys know, I don't care about being good anymore. Like I stopped caring after that first 250k qualifier. Like the amount of stress I put myself under preparing for that and just to get error coded. Like I said there and then that I was done. I was done sweating on this game. I was done grinding this game. So oh my god, what? Ron Harper. But yeah, so that is the story of Pro-Am DBG. And then the last topic right here, we have got Shannon Sharpe versus Kevin Durant. And this is gonna be this is gonna go into a media versus NBA players thing. So Shannon Sharpe versus Kevin Durant. Whose side am I on? I mean, it's hard not to be on KD's side, but it's also hard to be on KD's side. Like, I don't think there's anyone that's on Shannon Sharpe's side in the argument, but as somebody who knows the way social media works, it's hard to not look at Kevin Durant and just think, what are you doing? If you guys don't know what is happening in this entire situation, basically, Kevin Durant Shannon Sharpe made a fake quote talked about Kevin Durant. So there's a Twitter account page called the Press Nets. Basically, all this guy does is make up fake quotes, and so many of them go viral. And he made up a fake quote about KD saying that, like, if he beat LeBron, is he not better than LeBron? Like, everyone was talking about it on TV. Shannon Sharpe brought it up again. And Kevin Durant's like, I never said this. And Shannon Sharpe says something like, we don't need to talk about this publicly. We can talk about it in private. And KD responds something like, well, you talked about it publicly on your show. You misquoted me. Can we just talk about that publicly? And then Shannon Sharpe blocked him. So it's like, and I think he quote tweeted Shannon Sharpe, or he tweeted a picture of Shannon Sharpe blocking him with, like, who's sensitive now? And I don't understand how in this situation anyone can be on Shannon Sharpe's side. But, like, if you're Kevin Durant, you play it into their hands. And while Kevin Durant's not wrong, you're playing into the hands of exactly what they want. Like how many years has Skip Bayless tried to get LeBron to snap at him? Because you better believe if Skip Bayless gets LeBron to snap at him, he's making, I can guarantee you, if he can get LeBron to go at him, he can renegotiate his salary and ask for an extra couple of $1 million because of how much traction it's going to bring to Fox Sports when if LeBron goes at him. They're going to be talking about it for years. Like, that's what they want. They want the players to go back at them. And this situation, it's that, like, obviously Shannon Sharpe misquoted KD. He did what he did. There's bigger crimes. The fact Shannon Sharpe didn't just say sorry for misquoting is, I just don't understand that. But basically, what they want, all they want, is for people to respond so that they can talk about it on the show the next day. And it's exactly what's happened with Kevin Durant. And he's just playing into the hands. These shows aren't basketball analyst shows. Like, if you want to watch basketball analysis, like, the best basketball analysis you're going to find is on YouTube. The best basketball analysis you're going to find is on YouTube. And that's the best place you should go if you actually want analysis for basketball. Because, I'm going to say this right now, basketball analysis does not draw the same clicks as people complaining about the NBA. Like, if you're Shannon Sharpe, a clip of you, he could do a whole analysis breakdown of the Hornets versus the Magic in a game. And it will get no views. People would turn off the TV for that. But him and Skip could have the MJ versus LeBron debate 200 for the 200th time in the same year, and it will still get clicks. Because that is what people want. And the worst part about it is that, like, obviously you're dealing with humans. Like, these NBA players are humans. And if you're KD, KD likes to respond. He evidently loves to respond. But it's feeding exactly into the narrative the media wants to put on KD. The reason the media is so harsh on KD is because it gets them clicks. They know that they can be harsh on KD and it'll get them clicks. Because he's going to respond. Like, if you have someone that's going to respond and it's going to get you clicks, more money, more views, they're going to do it. These networks are going to push for that. So while KD's 100% in the right, he is very much like feeding the media himself. And like, by not showing up to an interview, you're feeding the media more than doing an interview in the NBA. Like, oh, it's just one of those things where it's like, if you're on, basically, I'm going to end it. If you're on Shannon Sharpe's side, how can you be on Shannon Sharpe's side in this argument? And as well as that, like the NBA media now, we all know it. It's just LeBron versus Jordan debates every day. Basically, every day is another LeBron versus Jordan debate. And it's going to be very soon Luka versus Zion, I think. I think Luka and Zion Williamson, man, Zion's balling right now. He's no Luka. He's no Luka right now. He's no Luka from last year. Averaging a 30-point triple-double for a playoff team over a month. Like, Like, he's no Luka, but man, Zion is good. I know the hype's kind of died for him, but he's fantastic. But it's going to be a Luka versus Zion debate. These shows are going to become Luka versus Zion very soon. They're going to become, if the Nets win this year, it's going to be KD versus LeBron next year. All next year is going to be KD versus LeBron. And unfortunately, as much as we all like to say, oh, we want to hear something new, nobody cares about 24 of the 30 NBA teams. And that's the sad truth of everything, is that nobody cares about 24 to 30 NBA teams enough to watch. And by nobody, I mean like the general population and the vast majority of people. As well as that, the vast majority do not care about whether something is like statistically accurate. They would rather hear somebody go on a rant about somebody than actually look for things backed up. It's like the Paul George situation. Everyone talking about how it was this shock that Paul George, he should be traded because he was very inconsistent in playoffs for the Clippers. They'd have one good game, then one bad game. Paul George has literally done that his whole career. If you look at Paul George's career, he has been the most consistently inconsistent playoff performer. The amount of 10-point games Paul George has had in the playoffs, he has had so many series where he's had it could be a 7-game series. He's had 3 35-plus point games is obviously just exaggeration, and like 3 under 10. But like, he's had so many stinkers in the playoffs that it's hard to like, I don't understand. It takes one look at Basketball Reference. And that's what these guys won't do. They won't even look at Basketball Reference. Like, all they care about is, at the end of the day, it's the entertainment. So these basketball talk shows, take them, like, I watch them, but you have to take them as what they are. They are entertainment shows. These are debate shows. These are entertainment shows. These are the equivalent of 3 people, not that far off the equivalent of 3 people in a bar watching a match or in a barber shop, and they're just spewing whatever comes into their head and they're talking about it. But the problem is that these opinions, because they're on these TV shows and they're on a platform, people take them as like analytical opinions and not just people spewing random stuff to get clicks, which it is. So, look, I like the shows. I really do. But if you are watching Skip Bayless or Shannon Sharpe to get either validation or to learn about the sport of basketball, and I'm not even talking about them, Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, they're all the same. They're all the same. Like, Stephen A. Smith, intangibles this, intangibles that, the excruciating pressure and all this crap. Like, and like even the LeBron, the 2011 finals situation, like how wrong they got the whole thing of what happened. They were like, oh yeah, LeBron did choke, but why he choked is a completely different story. Like, he choked under the pressure 100%. But Mavs threw about 15 different defenses on him. Mavs threw him in situations where it looked like it was the right idea to pass, and he was passing out of stuff, and he started overthinking. Like, but they don't want to admit that. Like, there was a great thing of Mark Cuban literally listing off all the things they did to get into LeBron's head, which worked. And it's like, not one show is giving the Mavs any credit for that final series. Unless you want to give Dirk credit. They'll give the one individual credit, but not the whole team, their system, not Rick Carlisle. But, yeah. So that is it, lads. That is it. That is the first episode of the 2K Ramblings. We got a couple of nice wins there. And we talked about a couple of topics that obviously will be of some relevance. There might be some clips of these, but yeah. So, this is the first of these episodes. New episode every single Wednesday, lads. Appreciate everyone that's been here for all 40 minutes. And while it's not quite a full podcast, it is just me talking about stuff that is kind of relevant that may not be relevant for the podcast and probably won't be talked about in the podcast. So yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.